the weather's finally improved enough that we can come down here and do a little bit of work on the cat. Couldn't have burst the hose, that was easy to reach, of course. It's going to be a bit of digging on this one. I think it's up on top of this final drive unit somewhere. So, let's do some rooting around and try and get to it. Finally out of there. There's our problem. So, gonna make a new one. I think I'm actually gonna start on the end under the machine, unfortunately. Right. I found this very fetching rug. So I laid it out under the machine and need to get back up in here somewhere with the pipe. So let's try it from the other side. The fitting is right in there, buried right up on top. So those are so congested it's even difficult to get a hand onto it. I might have to take off another hose to make space for myself. Okay, so I've learned one important rule with YouTube, and that is if you're having trouble doing something, switch the camera off and it'll go right for you. So I finally got this pipe parts of the way on there at least. Anyway, just trying to do it up at the moment. Finally found a pair of safety glasses so I don't have dirt dropping in my eyes anymore. But tired, I'm sore, I'm wet, I'm cold, and there's water dripping on me. So I can just about get a spanner out from under my back. Just about get a spanner on this connection. It's right up. Can't even see it now. Oh, yeah, right up in there. So, gonna get this tightened up and climb out from under the machine and start videoing again then. Hose is finally in there, so just gonna get her fixed up there today, undercarriage in the machine. Over to the brakes and we'll be done with it. Whew. Okay, we are done. So yeah, I'll be very glad to see we're finally back at the Caterpillar after a bit of a break. I think the last video we shot here was in first days of 2021. So back down here today. It's been a little bit of clearing up done around it. So I've dropped in a pair of batteries. That hose is repaired, as you just saw, and now I'm going to fire it up and see if she'll move. Okay, so that was a mixed bag. As you can see, boom's working. She's slewing. She tried to move, but the travel pedal then started to get stuck. So gonna have a look at that. I have no steering whatsoever. Just got it on here, and we have various leaks. So don't know what's wrong with the steering system. I'm gonna have to look at that. We've got a pipe here which seems to be coming from travel pedal. It's leaking, so that's gonna have to be replaced. It's a little bit more concerning is back here, this pool of oil, which I'll take you up and show you where that's coming from. Yeah, it's our previous leak, and we've got a fine mist all around here, which is coming from around the slew ring somewhere. So who knows what that is? I'm going to have to dig into that one. Nice pool of oil under it, but I'll take you up top. We have got a lot of engine oil blowing out of the engine, so I'm just going to pull, and the engine doesn't sound right. I'm going to pull this rocker cover and see if she's all in the top end, because she wasn't previously, and I would imagine we've got some kind of a breather filter or something that's blocked. It's forcing oil out. There's even oil coming out the dipstick tube, so something's pressurizing that sump. So better look into that before we end up taking out the turbo seals. So let's get started. This doesn't look particularly healthy. There's an awful lot of, hopefully, just condensation in here. But as you can see, the oil has turned this nice shade of grey. So it's everywhere. It's just grey sludge. Now there is no apparent drop in oil level, so I wonder, or in coolant level, so I wonder if this is just purely condensation. Either way, it's not good. It's the same grey puke I'm getting out the bottom of the engine, so I'm not going to run the engine anymore for the moment. We're going to have to see if we can clean up inside this head and give it an oil change, see if it improves the situation. I also need to check the oil pressure and see how it's looking. So that's kind of wording. Now the engine sounds sweet, but as you can see, it's smoking heavily as well. But then again, this could be all just oil caused by the condensation. I think I'm going to drop the coolant. Gonna go home, get some coolant from the workshop, and we'll give her a coolant change. Just so if it is head gasket or something, at least we'll be able to see it a bit clearer, but I don't think it is somehow. So let me know what you think in the comments below. In the meanwhile, I'm going to clean what I can off this and put the cover back on and make a plan. So I think what we'll do is we'll just give it an oil change, run it for a while, and drop the oil again. So this is not it's not good. This is not good at all. Oh man. So, this would appear to be some kind of a oil breather filter. It's got a gauze in there, so that's where our oil's coming out. But I would imagine that it's not blocked if the oil's coming out, so something else is pressurizing or excessively pressurizing our oil system. Our oil is not looking good as well. Just show you. Down in here, it's completely contaminated. There's a lot of moisture in that oil. So I think what we need to do next to this engine, I'm going to look to get some advice, but I think I need to drop the oil and drop the sump and see what's going on. But I'm not terribly hopeful. No, it could be something simple. But I'm going to have to do some research into it. If you have any suggestions as to what it could be, put them in the comments below. But I'm afraid the future of this project ain't looking bright at the moment, which is a pity. There's a lot of work gone into it, and the engine really was the least of my concerns. But if we keep blowing hoses and keep having issues, and we've got an engine that's potentially got a blown head gasket and other issues, I don't know where we go from here. I also don't know how I'm going to clean this engine. I'm going to have to dismantle and remove all the rockers and clean it that way. I think I might have to. So I really don't want to run it like this anymore until I get to the bottom of it. So the question is there a product out there that I can use to flush this engine? Because as you can see, even if I drop the oil, I'm not going to get contaminated oil out of places like that. So do I drop it, run cheap oil through it and drop it again? Or is there something that I can just dump in here in the top end and wash it all down? Because I can see more of it right down in there. Like this fresh oil here, which is probably the oil that I threw on the rockers the last time that I was at this engine. So I'm just going to get some light and shine it down in there. Let's see how far down that contamination goes. So sat here for a while now, feeling fairly pissed off with this thing, but look, yeah, now I think the way forward is I'm going to have to remove all the rocker gear, see if I can clean it up, get as much of this shite out of the out of here as I can, and try and flush the engine down, give it an oil change and see what happens. Still need to figure out why it's pressurizing, and when I drop the oil I get a better idea of how much oil is in the sump. And also I want to check the lubrication passageways up to the head, because it doesn't appear to be oiling properly up here. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but I'm gonna talk to the guy who knows these cats a bit better than me, well, a lot better than me in fact. If you're watching this and you've experienced these engines, then I'll be interested in your opinion. This isn't a proper cat engine, by the way. This is a Caterpillar branded Diets, water cooled. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to rip the charger inlet pipe there in a second. I just want to see if there's any oil being blown through the turbo seals, and I'll dump the coolant in a minute. We'll have a look at that, and then I'm going to have a look at those hydraulic leaks. I know where one of them is, and I can get the hose out pretty easily, but I want to see what the story is with that one down the opposite side of the machine, the one that's blowing oil out by the slew ring. So I'll get started. Just to give you an idea, this is the inside of the rocker cover, so you can see the volume of moisture that's on that. I'm not even going to refit this at the moment. What I'm going to do is take it back to I might actually take it to the workshop here and steam clean it and dry it thoroughly with compressed air, so at least I'm not putting all that moisture back into the engine again. Now that the boom is lowered, we get to take a first look at the pipe work on here. So digging ram at the moment is disconnected, so it just terminates here, and I believe this is the pipe that should be added to that digging ram. It's been swapped with this connection here for the grab. Same starting on the other side, so we need to put that back in place. And this, I believe, is for the quick hitch, so we need to get that down there. Other than that, probably should clean those rams before I retracted them, but the rams themselves appear to be bone dry. Nothing else has happened there, but again, if we look underneath, this hose is still leaking. I want to try and plug that and take that hose out before I go. I just don't want to be contaminating the ground and wasting my hydraulic oil. It's a pool of engine oil under there. Now, this is the big one. What is causing that leak? I'm going to try and get a closer look in there and see, can we figure it out? So it is coming out around the slew motor. So before we go to the workshop for the coolant and things, I think I'll just pull these steps and have a look underneath. So there's our leaking connection underneath the machine. Seems to be the actual metal on that connection. It's corroded, so we're going to have to get that pipe out of there. Not sure where it goes, but have to rip it out. Just have to get a container under here to catch the soil. We'll remove that and remove the one on the other side, and then we're going to have to make a call on what happens, whether we fix them or not, depending on how our engine works out. So I'll rip those out in a minute. Gonna go to the workshop first and get some coolant. I really do hope that this thing can be fixed. I really don't want the story to end this way, you know. Not just for me. I know I've put time into this thing, I've put money into this thing, but the people who've watched the videos have also invested in this thing, and I really don't want to disappoint the people who've watched the videos and who've liked them and commented on them. It just wouldn't be fair after bringing everybody along this far and for it to end this way. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's incredibly disappointing. I know if I was sitting there watching this video now, and there was a potential that this thing was just going to come to an end without the machine actually working properly, I'd be pretty mad at it. So I don't know. I need to go and get some coffee and steam clean that valve cover, grab some coolant, and look, we'll just take this thing one step at a time. And I've sent some pictures to a friend of mine who knows cats pretty well, so I'm hoping that he can offer some advice as to what's pressurizing the oil system and how to get the contamination out of the engine. But again, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a comment below, because I'm just not an expert in these things. I've never come across an engine that's badly contaminated before, so I could really use your advice. So it looks like there's reasonable space underneath this engine. Might be able to drop the sump with the engine in place. Just see what's going on, and to obviously give it a thorough clean. So you can see where the engine oil has ended up down here. We've got hydraulic oil coming from somewhere there, not sure where that is. Gonna have to look at that. And I think this is our coolant drain. So I'm gonna drain off some coolant, see how it looks. Run out of containers for coolant. I've drained nearly 20 litres so far. It looks perfect and there's no oil in it. But I'm gonna have to go and get more containers. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna drop on the cover for now. It's starting to rain here for the first time in over a week. Strange for this country. Let's close up the engine for the moment. This gasket is completely shot as well. I must order a new gasket for it if we are going to fix it. Okay, that's not good. We've got a significant amount of oil, so that's the mark. And all the way down here is the full mark. So we've literally got that much inside in it. So that explains why it's coming out. Big question now is, how's it getting in? Is it a blown head gasket, or could water have entered the engine while it was standing? That is a significant amount. Okay, so look at this logically. The exhaust is damaged down there, but there is no sign of water leakage below the turbo, and this is just soot. There's no actual, it didn't blow out any water while it was running. Now I'm going to take this exhaust off because it's in bits and make a new section just to help with some of it. But I wonder if this water has been in it with some time. I think I'm going to have to finish draining the coolant and see what that tells me. But for the moment, I'm just going to go down now and look at some of the hydraulic leaks. So I've just finished draining the cooling system, and there's absolutely no trace of oil in it, and there's a decent mix as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this home, just this little sample here, and I'm going to mix it with some engine oil in the workshop and see how it looks, but I don't think that's what's mixing in our cooling system. Okay, that's one of our leaking hoses. That was the one on the slew gear. So that's the nice short hose. So I cap that off now, stop it dripping all over the place. Okay, next leaky hose is right up there, and seems to be coming from some kind of accumulator. So hopefully it's not under pressure. I have to be careful with this one. And that hose, which one is it? This one. Is another brake hose. So yeah, I think we need to get into that braking system. We've definitely got pressure when we shouldn't have. So we need to take a look at that before we burst anything else. So I'm just going to get that out of there. Pressure should be released now, hopefully. Of course, if I'd been clever when I saw this leak, I would have slewed the machine around so I didn't have to crawl all the way under here. That would have been too smart. Too smart by far. Okay. Oh God. Bash the vice grips on something. If I loosen something or broken something. Loosen it. Oh, that is actually the correct hose. Thought it was just taking it out of my way. Okay, it's the next leaky hose. Let's grab the other one. So, at least I'm picking cheap ones and short ones to burst, but the braking system needs to come apart. We've also got oil leaking from the back, but it's coming out of the rail, and the only access point I can see to the rail is up at the that leak we've got that we just removed the hose from. So hoping there's nothing else leaking. Just going to put something here to catch this oil. Okay, we're starting to lose daylight here, but hopefully you might be able to see some of this. This thing here is attached to the foot pedal, and it's got, so you can see the cylinder has extended. It's nice and clean, and it's pushing on this valve, which appears to be the reason that we're pressurizing the braking system. So I'm going to see if I can crack that out of there and take a look at it. Under here is the pin that operates that. It's also stuck solid, so I think we'll try and take this out of here and see can we free it. Okay, since I pulled the coolant, I'm feeling a small bit more hopeful about this engine. Still don't know the source of the water, but I really don't think there's coolant. The other thing is the oil being blown out of the engine. That's clearly because the oil level is way too high inside it. It's definitely, let's just check it again and smell it. But there's definitely no fuel in that oil. So I'm just wondering if it is purely condensation from sitting. Now of course we need to figure out why she's not oiling the top end. And down here there's a little cover and it says something about engine oil. I think it might be a port for checking the pressure, so we'll try and do that. So I think the next step is just to drop the oil and drop the sump, see how it all looks. I need to get a diagram of the lubrication system and see can I figure out what the story is at the top end, and check the gauze on the oil pickup as well, inside the sump. See if that's gotten blocked or anything. I mean, it doesn't sound like an engine with bad oil pressure, but it's just something funny going on there. I've noticed as well there seems to be a lot of white smoke when it is running. Then again, that might clear when it's cold, or sorry, when it's warmed up a little bit. So I've dumped coolant back into it for now. Coolant look good enough to reuse for the moment. No point in refilling it if we're going to end up doing something like a head gasket afterwards. I think it might be worth removing all the rockers though, alright, just to give them a thorough clean. I think I can do that without upsetting any of the settings or anything. And I'll take it from there. So I'll close up the engine for the night and shut the catwalks. We've got the leaking hoses out of here, so need to go and get some made. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to comment, especially with regard to the problem we're having with the engine and the braking in this. I'd really appreciate some input. If you guys out there have an opinion, you feel you know what's going on, let me know below. Also let me know if you want me to continue with this thing, or should I just throw in the towel on this one. No, I think we're gone too far. I really want to keep going, but obviously if that engine's a dud, need to reconsider. In the meanwhile, I'm going to get these lines made up, these new hoses, and try and figure out the braking issue, see if we can sort that out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, by the way, and don't forget to turn on notifications, that little bell symbol. Otherwise you won't know when the next video comes out, and who knows, the next one could be the big one, I hope. So that's about it for now, guys. Thanks again.